Part of what I wanted to say, I couldn't deliver. I didn't know anyway.
Such a bittersweet taste, such a perfect waste. Oh, hiding in the back of my conscious state.
We stand on the precipice of history. Our teams have been working with some of the country's top scientists.
We need proper assurances about these nanocells, Dr. Tennant.
Why should we continue to bankroll someone so young?
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
So it's such a pleasure to have you here, Kim. It really is. If we go back to the beginning,
no worries.
If we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the film industry?
Yes, that's a good question, actually. In college, I went to Burnley College, so that's why you can hear a bit of my northern twang. Okay. I did film studies, so I was engrossed in film. I'm a film buff, so I like to watch films, indies as well. And yeah, that kind of carried me through, and I went to uni here in London. I studied journalism. That went well, and I graduated around 2014. And I don't know, there was something in me that wanted to, I guess, reignite my acting bug. And I auditioned for the BFI short film, and I got it. And that was kind of my defining moment in the industry. I auditioned in front of Jane Ripley, who did, she's the casting director of Skins back then. And then Jeremy Zimmerman. And through all those rounds of auditions, I got my BFI short film, and that made it as a show reel to send it to, producers, directors, and got me to where I am today. So,
awesome. Well, we're thankful. Really awesome. We're thankful for that. Definitely. How did you get involved in the complex, and what can you tell me about your involvement with working with such a unique production?
Yeah. So, first of all, it's been incredible to see the feedback for the complex. First of all, I self-taped. And I got shortlisted, and I did actually what we're doing now is a Skype audition. So I met with Heather Baston, who's the casting director, and director Paul Rashid, who you've spoken to. Mm-hmm. And they've been so lovely. And one of the scenes that I did was the tube scene. So I had to, do my convulsions and all. And I think my flatmates were a bit worried about me doing some weird screaming noises, but a few days after I got the role, and then afterwards we did some fittings. I had to do some prosthetics, face casting, so I met with Susie Battersby, who's the prosthetics designer of the complex, and that was an amazing opportunity to kind of go through all that journey with the face casting and seeing how prosthetics work in terms of making it quite realistic and also quite gruesome, as you've seen in the complex. And afterwards we did rehearsals with Paul, Michelle, and Al, and also Rachel, who played Emily. And it's been amazing to see how it kind of shaped, and how the way we rehearsed, we found nuances in our characters, but how we interacted with each other. And also meeting Paul and his ideas, and we kind of went back and forth. And when we went into Kent, we filmed in Discovery Park in Kent, and that was pretty intense. We didn't have much time, but we had to bring our A game and do the scenes as much as we can.
5 weeks, I believe, was the shoot.
5 weeks, and then the last week, I believe we went to London, so we filmed in Hammersmith. And then, around, I think the last ever scene was me in that picnic scene with my family. That was the last ever scene that we shot. And it was amazing. Yeah.
Cool. A lot of your scenes take place with you in confinement. That it looks kind of claustrophobic. Was it as claustrophobic as it looked, or were you like kind of in a safe space, knowing that you can come out at any time?
Yeah, I mean, it looks claustrophobic, but it had so much. I was actually quite surprised how comfy it was. And it was thanks to Guy Thompson, who's the production designer. And it was great. It was kind of like a sunbed, like the way it felt like it. I felt at home. The only thing was it kept getting hot. So the crew had to actually open the door for me to get some air. And they were so lovely as well that they added in fans inside the bioprotector to make me feel at least, less hot. But yeah, I think the bioprotector, it's kind of a central role in the complex. It has its own stamp. It's especially in the sci-fi world, it's cool to see how, with a budget that we have, in order for artists to kind of create that, it's just, for me, it's kind of inspiring. So yeah, it's not too claustrophobic. I dealt with it for the 4 or 5 weeks, but yeah, it was
awesome. Okay. Now, I've been a fan of yours since I've been watched Get Even on iPlayer. Yeah. Do you approach TV series differently to how you approach a film?
Technically, yes. With film, like in the complex, you get the script, so you know the character arc, whereas in TV and in Get Even, that was actually my first lead role in a TV series. So each episode script that I get, it's kind of a new information. So the only thing that I can go back on is the book. So Get Even was based on a novel by Gretchen McNeil. So that's the only information I could get. And so in TV, it's more like you're kind of flexible and you're working with different directors as well in each block. Whereas in the complex, you're working with one. So working with Paul, it's kind of each day on set, you kind of gather ideas. And whereas on set and Get Even, you're kind of more malleable, I guess. And whereas in terms of preparing for a character, it's still the same for me. So I always look at the similarities and the differences. So I kind of go through that, and if there's any differences, I put some work into that. So for the complex, it's mainly to do with accents, like the Kindarian accent, or the physicality of having convulsions and having the nanocells kind of making my body combust. So it's using, my talent as a dancer to kind of work on that. And with Get Even, it's more to do, again, with physicality, because she's like an athlete. She's good at many things as well. So I had to be that sort of alpha female mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. With your background in dance, I didn't know that before this, before I was speaking to you. Is that something that you like? Do you like the combining of the two? I mean, because do you like combining the two disciplines in a way?
Yeah, of course. I'm a big fan of physical acting and physical theatre. And I think with your bodies tell a story. It's not much about the words, it's how you say it and how you express your face. And for me, it's like a tool. It's like one of my kits in a toolbox. It's how I perform. It's how I tell my stories. I'm always gravitated to roles that are, I don't know, just kind of, there's some sort of physicality and kind of that, girl boss into them. So, yeah.
Great. Do you have any preferred genres and any favorite films?
Ooh, thriller, horror. I do love a good musical. I do love comedy as well. Favorite films, Pulp Fiction. That's a good one. There's a
Classic.
film. I don't know if you would know this, but this is harking back to when I did film studies in college. In the Mood for Love.
Haven't
You
seen
heard
it.
it? Yeah.
I've heard
So
of it. Haven't seen it.
yeah, so it's by Wong Kar-wai, and till this day, it's still one of my favorite films. I'm a bit of an artsy kind of geek, so I love art house films, and it's definitely a recommendation. I think it's so poetic in its style, in its visual story, and the acting and the fashion, and yeah, every time I look at it, it's kind of like a painting, and you just kind of mesmerized by the film. So I'm inspired by auteurs who do that kind of work. But yeah, I also love a good action film like Pulp Fiction, or there's a really good comedy film, like an indie, what's it called? Little Miss Sunshine. I absolutely adore that film.
Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. What about you?
Well, my favorite film of all time is Gremlins. That Steven Spielberg presented back in the 80s. That's my favorite film. So like, on my windowsill, I've got gizmos. I've got a couple of plush gizmos on my windowsill.
Really?
So that's fun. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? It's harking me back to my childhood. I absolutely love the Gremlins. I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, I try and watch it. I had the pleasure of watching it in 4DX for its 30th anniversary last year, so that was cool.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, because I'm 36, so I was a bit too young when it first came out to see it in cinema, but but it's one of those films that I try and revisit every year or every couple of years, especially around Christmas because it's a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any other aspects of the film industry that you'd like to pursue?
Yeah, I'd love to do screenwriting. That's another big passion of mine. As I've told you, I did journalism in university, so I love to write. And yeah, just I guess producing indie films. That's another big passion of mine, I guess, to find other artists that have a voice. That's one of my goals. Yeah, in the future.
Awesome. Yeah. Look forward to whatever you produce or whatever you do.
Hopefully.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
I have the perfect time to do it right now.
Yeah.
Utilize my writing skills.
Yeah, got the time. All right. So you've got a great range of credits so far in such a young career. Are there any other genres that you haven't done you'd like to?
Yes. I'd love to do comedy. I think I love a good comedy show. I think I'm looking back, I've been doing like serious roles. I just need something that's kind of lighthearted at the moment. But yeah, I love comedy. I love Friends. I love Friday Night Dinner. You know, good UK comedy shows like that. Yeah, I think it's actually an art. There's an art to it, especially finding the comedic timing and how, you improvise with different characters there. That's one thing that I would like to do. Yeah,
absolutely. Friends, luckily in this country, we can watch it on Netflix. So I think I'm on season 3 at the minute of rewatching the whole thing again.
I'm going to answer because this is coming up with the next question that you have for me, because I'm a huge fan of Friends.
Okay.
So I have the box set, and I know all the lines of each episode and what. Yeah, me too. It's one of those shows that you can just watch, and I still laugh at the same points, even though I've seen it Same.
I've seen it. I must have seen it all dozens of times by now. Because it's just
Pivot.
It's just one of those shows.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines is the pivot scene.
Yeah.
Where Ross just shouting pivot.
Yeah.
And then watching it on YouTube, the bloopers of that scene is even more funnier.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to check that out. The blooper
Yeah,
scene.
check that out.
Oh, cool. All right. So you've worked with a great crop of talent. Do you have a
Yeah.
wish list of who you'd like to work with?
Oh. Like I wrote a list. I actually wrote a list. Can it mean like anyone, like director?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. QT, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Wong Kar-wai, who I've recommended to you, In the Mood for
Yeah,
Love. He's great. Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite.
Yeah.
Have you watched the film Parasite?
Haven't seen it. No, I sent a reviewer to go and see it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Ari Aster, he did Hereditary, Midsummer. I'd love to work with him. Kind of like the key ones, like Steven Spielberg, Wes Anderson.
Mm.
Yeah, I love Moonrise Kingdom. That's one of my favorite films of him. Actors, it's kind of like the Holy Trinity, isn't it? Like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Meryl Streep. They're like amazing people that I'd love to work with. Timothy Chalamet, he's pretty cool. I was gonna actually watch him in the Old Vic. He was gonna do like a theatre show, but obviously through this crisis, it's been cancelled.
Yeah.
But I've been loving his work. He's a really raw actor. He's quite natural. Javier Bardem, he's cool. Yeah, so many. Judi Dench.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So many people.
Helen Mirren as well. They're dames for a reason. So.
Helen Mirren, Charlize Theron. Yeah. I think for those actors and directors, they've really inspired me to, I guess, be in this industry. It's not just, because I want to be like them. It's how they show their craft and how they show human emotions. I think it's just really wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to work with them. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So fandoms are a big part of the industry. So other than those actors, who or what are you a fan of?
Friends. For me, Friends. I'm part of the fandom. I can honestly say I'm part of the fandom of Friends. Lost. I absolutely loved that show. Back in the day when it was on Channel 4, I remember. And that was actually another defining moment that I actually wanted to get into TV. When I watched season 1 of Lost, I thought this was such a great TV show. It was so epic in its storytelling, but also in its genres and how the themes of their show they were putting on. And I was so inspired by the diversity of the cast as well. And I was like, I want to be in that. So I was looking online of how to audition, but obviously I wasn't in America. So I was there like as a kid, just hoping to be in TV and being a part of this huge show that J.J. Abrams created. But yeah, to this day, I still watch it. I think for me, my favorite character is Locke. I don't know if you've watched Lost, but Locke is one of my favorite characters. Yeah.
Yeah, and he and Locke goes on such
Locke was one of my favorite people to tune in, and
yeah, because he had a very compelling story arc.
Yeah, he goes on a journey, doesn't he?
Which I found fascinating to watch. When I got into Lost, I don't
know if it's right to spoil it for the viewers, but yeah, he had so many things happen to him.
Yeah, I think we're at the statute of limitations now where we can actually talk about it freely. So yeah, I don't think there are any spoilers at this point. We've Lost. Okay, so is there a book that you're a fan of that hasn't been adapted to film or TV or Netflix yet that you'd love to be a part of?
I do. I'm reading a book called Kafka on the Shore. So it's by Haruki Murakami. I think I would love to see it in a Netflix TV series. It's again, I'm quite a spiritual being, and the book delves deep into like metaphysics, and it's kind of like Lost. Actually, it deals with finding yourself, and there's also cats who speak. Who doesn't love cats and, talking cats?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really, all I can say, the book is quite surreal, and it delves it deep into like Greek mythology, but also finding yourself, and it goes through like philosophical kind of tangents, and I'm really enjoying it. He's one of my favorite writers anyway. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And with the popularity of streaming services like Netflix, what do you think the future of cinema is?
Oh, I mean, right now it's not looking great, is it?
No.
I think with streaming services like Netflix, no, but you've got Disney Plus as well. So you've got that, Amazon. Currently, obviously, I can't say too much, but I'm part of an Apple TV series.
Nice.
And obviously, we're not filming right now, but you've got Apple TV. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, you've got so many streaming services that there's so much choice. And I think with cinema being more expensive, it's much more easier to kind of sit down with your family and watch something on Netflix. And especially throughout this pandemic, that's the go-to to find entertainment. I'd like to hope that cinema is here to stay. I think it's always an event. I always go with like my family, my friends. If you're on a date, it's nice to kind of have a companion, and when the lights go down, you watch the film and you're so engrossed by it. And then when the lights come up, you go outside and you talk about it. You have a discussion, and it's almost like an escape to your reality. And I think that feeling is not lost. And whenever you see something, you always say it's cinematic, and that's because, it's due to cinema. That's how, I don't know, I guess it's just an event. It's like, there's nothing like it when you buy the ticket and you buy the popcorn and the drinks and you're ready to watch the movie and get excited by it. The last film I watched was 1917, and I thought that was brilliant.
It is.
To be in a, theater and watch, these two soldiers go down to war and things happen and you hear the surround sound. It's just a immersive experience.
Absolutely.
So for me, I'm hopeful that it'll stay. But
Yeah,
it's hard. The
is.
industry's moving so quick. What do you think?
It's nice to have the variety like at your fingertips. That's nice, but there's nothing. I agree with you. There's nothing like going to the cinema and like being there with your friends and family, your loved ones. It's great. The last thing I saw, I was one of the first audiences to actually see Mulan, the live action version.
Wow!
I went. That was
How
the
was
last.
it?
It's great. It was the last press screening that I went to. It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hopefully that just goes on. I don't know whether they're just going to put it on streaming on like Disney Plus. I don't know. But I mean, I know Universal just did that with like 3 of their films that were only just released in cinemas, like Invisible Man.
Oh, really?
The Hunt, Invisible Man, The Hunt, and Emma went to VOD. I think last week or the week before. So yeah. But yeah, cinema's great. I love cinema. That's why we do this.
I love cinema too.
Yeah. That's why we do this.
Well, I'm always here for the movies. Yeah, of course. Like, I'm a huge fan of the movies, and it's interesting to see the companies like Odeon and View, they're slashing the ticket prices because they know that Netflix is booming, and there's so much entertainment to offer. I think it's gone down to £5, hasn't it? Like the ticket prices.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Yeah.
I
think from what I can remember, because my family are up in Huddersfield, so I went to Odeon and I was like, whoa, it's gone so cheap. And I think that's what it is. For me, it's just an assumption. I think they could see how streaming services are really affecting our view of entertainment. And I think they just want the audience back into cinema and just enjoy being with a bunch of strangers. I think there's also a vibe of like everyone shouting and screaming, you know? And I remember when I went with my friend to see Get Out by Jordan Peele, like I was like so loud, I was screaming, I was laughing, I was saying to him like, get out of the house. And I think that adds to the cinematic experience.
Absolutely does.
Yeah, and I just wish it won't go away. I hope so. I hope it won't, you know.
Me too. So just before I let you go, what are you looking forward to getting back to? Obviously, you've got your Apple TV show that you can't really talk about, but what else are you looking forward to getting back to once we're allowed to?
Once we're allowed to at least go to the park first. Actually see my family and friends. But yeah, just keep living. I think, to be honest, I always find the positivity during crisis. I think during this pandemic, it's really taught us to be, I guess you slow down, whereas if you're allowed out, it's always go, go, go. And especially if you're living in London like I do, you're taught to wake up, do stuff, and then run around and then come back and sleep. You know, you don't have time to like actually breathe and do the things that you've always wanted to do. Like for me, I want to actually find the time to write. So that's one of the things that I need to do. And, you know, calling people that I haven't spoken to in years, like I feel like it's taught me something. And I think after this crisis, I don't know, it's made me more mindful. Yeah, but obviously it is a really serious situation, I think. I don't know how long this will go, but I'm hoping that I get to do my work and continue to live my life.
With Get Even, is that coming back?
Watch this space.
I will. I'll be. Yeah, it's been. I will. I love that show. I can't wait to see what comes next.
Thank you so much.
Sure that I haven't read
let me ask you. Did you? Oh, sorry.
Go
I was going to ask. Like, did you guess who the killer was right from the beginning?
No. I had an idea. I had an idea in the beginning, but I think it was like episode 4 or 5 where that assumption went. I was just riveted. I couldn't work it out. I had an idea, and then that was debunked in episode 4, I think. And then, I didn't. No, I'm not, and no spoilers because I don't know who's seen it and who hasn't. So, no, it's a great ride to go on, and having it spearheaded by you four is just incredible. You four just work really, really well together. Like to come together in that way.
Yes, girl power.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thanks very much for your time, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And I'll keep an eye on the Apple TV as well to see what happens.
Thank you so much, Marc.
There's that new thing. I don't know if if you know much about it, but there's that new service called Quibi that I've been.
Okay.
It's like a short episode time. I think it's like under 10 minutes. And yeah, I'm watching Sophie Turner's Survive on there at the minute. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, let me know. Send me a link to it. I've never heard of Quibi. Is this a brand new?
Yeah, it launched. I think it launched on Tuesday. I think, and it's on like for mobile devices. So you can only view it on your phone or tablet. So they don't have an interface yet for the web. I don't know if they're going to in browsers, but yeah, but on phones and tablets, definitely. That's where I watch it.
Sweet, yeah, that's great. Oh gosh, yeah. See, I have so much to catch up on now. Got Quibi, got Disney Plus.
Yeah, I've got Disney Plus. I got in there when they were offering it for £50 a year. I've got Disney Plus. I absolutely love it. Being able to watch my old favorites like Spider-Man from the 90s, just being able to watch that. I've binge watched that already. All like the whole season, the whole of it. I'm in the middle of Kim Possible at the minute. Catching up with DComs that I haven't seen for years, like Cadet Kelly and Windy Woo, and Get a Clue as well. So yeah, it's just great. Having that at your fingertips, brilliant.
Yes, I think you've got me sold. I think I should subscribe to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's great.
And I love Kim Possible.
Oh yeah,
Kim Possible. That was like, people used to sing Kim Possible to me because of the name, obviously. But yeah, no, I love that show. Yeah.
Yeah. A few years back, I had the pleasure of speaking to Steve Lotter, who's the director from Kim Possible. I think he came in season 2 onwards, and yeah, he's just an incredible guy.
Wow, I bet he was.
Yeah. I interviewed him for Tinkerbell and the Never Beast.
What did he say?
He's great. He at the time he wanted to revisit Kim Possible, and then obviously they've made the film. So, hopefully they bring Kim Possible back because I would love that.
I hope so. Oh my gosh, what about a live action Kim Possible?
They did that.
That'd be amazing.
They did that in a decom. Yeah, they did that in a decom. It's good. It's enjoyable, but I would have preferred to see. If it was up to me, I would have preferred if Christy Carson Romano, who voiced Kim Possible originally, came back and did it as an older version of Kim Possible, and it was like all canon to
that would make sense.
To the series. I would have loved that, but no, they went back to the beginning. So
no,
it was fun.
No, you can't beat the original.
Absolutely not. And I know Christy still loves Kim Possible, and she's doing a cooking show at the moment called Christy's Kitchen Throwback on YouTube, and she does like react series as well and stuff like that. She's just incredible. So it's nice to watch her every week.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Gosh.
Anyway,
nice.
Yeah. All right, so it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me today.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca. With the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels, it's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
thank you for watching the Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.